I've started a process that allows me to really do hard things with intention. Okay. And we talked a little bit about this before we started shooting, and it's like with my workout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm curious how that works for you.
And so when I first started working with my coach, who's just, the dude blows my mind where he came from and where he's at now, but he's on such an amazing level, and I aspire to be more like him as far as my mindset goes. But when I first started working out with him, my intention was to lose weight.
Right.
I just want to lose weight, because if I lose weight...
I mean, is that fair to say? Like, I feel like your intention was always to get to the best version of you.
Sure. Yes. However, like, I didn't know what that looked like, right?
You assumed that it was less weight.
Which is true.
Yeah.
There's some truth to that, right? But I had to do some really hard shit. Fucking
Every day.
Yeah, working out every day, and I have worked out every day, no days off, since May. Okay, and of 2019, and so with no days off, I had to make decisions on what that means to me, and why do I continue to do it? Why do I continue to do this, even though my body hurts, even though my mind's telling me not to? All this stuff. Well, as it progressed, I started learning a process in which works for me really well, because I gained so much perspective from it. So I get up, I do my morning routine. We've talked about this several episodes, but I go through my morning, I do my reading, all that stuff that you just talked about. When I go into my workout, every day I do 100 burpees, and we've talked about that. But what we haven't talked about is the way that I put intention behind every rep.
Yeah, and that's what I'm curious about.
And so what I do is we go in, and based off of whatever my reading is, and so right now I'm reading a book called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, and it's just Stoic quotes from a few different Stoics, and it's like a daily reflection. And so I'll read that, and then I'll put my own meaning behind it. And then I'll find some type of mantra out of that, right? I'll find some one-word mantra, and I try to make it selfless.
Okay.
Sometimes it's safety, right? Sometimes it's service. Sometimes it's gratitude. Sometimes it's life. It's this one positive word that I can attach deep meaning to, right? And so when I go down to do a burpee, I jump down, I do a push-up, and I say that word, right? So I'll jump down, I'll do a push-up, safety.
Do you say it out loud?
Yeah, so for a lot of them I do.
Okay.
Safety. So if I do 3 pumps and then I jump up, jog in place, and I ponder that word. What does that mean for me today? You know, how do I move into the action for that word? You know, what are some things I can do to create safety in my life? Down, burpee, safety, jump up. How am I creating safety in my life? How can I make other people feel safe in my life? You know, and I do that for 100 times. If I'm doing 3 pump burpees, that's 300 times first thing in the morning that I say the word safety.
Right.
And that solidifies within the old manic skull that I have, that I'm trying to create the intention of safety in my life. So I come out of that session at a high rate of vibration, because it's an intense workout. We create that intensity through endorphins and sweat and, you know, energy and all that stuff. And I start moving into action to create safety in my life. Okay, I don't want to make this phone call, but I have to, because this phone call is going to put me in a conversation with a bid on a job that's going to create income, and income is going to create safety within my home.
Right.
And so I have to make this phone call, right? My health is super important. So what am I doing to create safety within my health, right? So I can't eat that, because that creates like dis-ease within me, right? Either mentally or physical dis-ease within me. So like if I eat any type of fucking grain, like wheat, oat, any of that shit, I get bloaty, I get fucking inflammation. I know this through experimentation, like I don't feel good, and that makes me not feel safe, right? And then I lose the mental clarity that I need to have honest relationships with Avery and my kids. And then 5 o'clock comes around and I'm snappy and I'm fucking all these things, you know? So, so I look at my diet, what can I do in my diet to continue to create safety within myself so that my family feels safe by looking over at me and seeing that I'm healthy, that I'm present, that I'm available, that I'm going to continue to be that because I'm taking care of my health. Now I'm making the phone calls that I don't want to make. I'm avoiding the foods that keep me sick. What else can I do? I need to call my friends, right? I need to check on them. I need to put out some type of a caring message or make sure that they're okay, and so make some phone calls, call some other people, see how they're doing. And a lot of times what that will do is it'll open up the roads of communication so that, you may not even know that you were struggling that morning until we started talking. You're like, oh, well, now that we're talking, fuck, I'm going through this. And then you all of a sudden feel safe enough to talk about the thing that you're going through because I put safety in that. And there's action behind it by me caring enough to call just to see how you're doing. And so I do these things and it creates this stuff in my life where ultimately at the end of the day, I've had an entire day with the intention of safety. And I've done all these actions that create safety in my life and the people around me.